Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Baseline Banter. This is episode 9. And in this episode, we have some very exciting stuff. We obviously have the finals of the US Open. We have some controversy with Ostapenko and Taylor Townsend we have to talk about. We have the men's final coming up, US Open women's final just wrapped up. Lots and lots to talk about. But first of all, how are you, Dad?
I'm great, thanks. It's great to be here. Got interested in what we have to talk about.
It's
A
an
lot
exciting.
going on in tennis.
Exciting time, exciting time. So the women's final just wrapped up. You know, Amanda Amisonova put up a fight. Sabalenka overcame. What are your thoughts immediately preceding that match?
Well, I thought that exactly that was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be a slaughter. I
Hmm.
thought it was going to be a good match, but I think Sabalenka is just a little bit better at what she does. You
By
know,
the way, you picked Swiatek to win. I picked Sabalenka.
I thought I picked Sabalenka. No, I'm
Did
just
you?
kidding. Just kidding.
It was so long ago. I mean, like you
Actually, you
might
picked
have, but
her.
I'm fairly
No,
certain I did.
you picked Rybakina.
No, that was my dark horse pick. That wasn't my regular pick.
Oh,
I'm not that crazy.
my dark horse was Sabalenka.
Oh yeah, sure. What a dark horse. What an unbelievable dark horse.
Anyways, they're both good players. They're both hard hitters. Um, Sabalenka deserved to win.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Sabalenka's still the top dog. I think she proved it in this showing that she is the top. And Swiatek still has something to prove in terms of is she gonna be a top contender, I think, to for that number one spot. Not to say a contender for, to win a Grand Slam. She's more than proven that, but I just think in terms of having in people's minds that she's the solidified number one women's tennis player like she was, about a year ago, she has a little bit more to prove to get to that point
You know,
again.
with Swiatek, this is what it reminds me of. There used to be a boxer named Mark Breland
Okay.
who was very good, but he tended to have lapses. And
Yeah.
everybody was always saying which Mark Breland was going to show up for the fight. It's almost the same with Swiatek. Which Swiatek is going to show up today? You never know. It can be the
Yeah, and it
Swiatek.
wasn't like that. It didn't used to be like that with her, which is weird why that's happening now. I mean, could it be that she was just, hit a hot streak and then now you're seeing, a little bit of mortality with her?
You know, it defies logic how you can beat somebody love and love, and then not too long afterwards, you lose to them. I think I forget what it was, but like 3 and 4 or something, two straight sets.
Right.
Same two people. And it's not like one was on clay and one was on grass. It was
Yeah.
grass and hard court. It's
Right.
I was me like everybody else was shocked at
Well,
that.
that's why women's tennis is so exciting. I mean, in men's, you don't really get that. For the women, every match is could this happen? Could that happen? There could be upsets. It's not that unlikely that, someone out of the top 30 could beat a top 10 player in the women's, but in the men's, it's less likely. So that's part of why I love the women's tennis so much and why it's been so exciting to watch. I mean, what an unbelievable final. I thought you know, it was
Yeah.
hard fought. Sabalenka was the clear favorite.
All right, I digress a little bit. What did you think of Osaka's outfit?
Well, I mean, not my cup of tea. To put it nicely, how about you? Would you
Well,
wear it?
I always thought when I was in high school, just a couple of years ago,
Yeah,
the
just a couple.
girls,
When did you graduate? 3 years ago from high
yeah,
school?
something like that. The
Yeah.
girls for their phys ed class used to wear what we called bloomers.
Okay.
And it looked like that. I mean, there's no sparkles on it or anything, but it was that shape. It was
Wow. Interesting.
anyway, it's not for me. You know, I'm a
Yeah.
more of a traditionalist.
Speaking of boxing and, not being, having hot streaks, cold streaks, what do you think of the recent announcement of the exhibition match between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather?
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
But would you watch it?
No,
Really?
I refuse to
You're not
watch
at
it.
all interested in watching it?
No, just like I refuse to watch Tyson against Jake
Oh,
Paul.
yeah.
It's not going to be a legitimate. I like legitimate contests, the same as tennis. I don't
Right.
like tennis exhibition matches. I like it to mean something. So,
True.
if two guys are fighting, I want to see them fight. They're not
Yep.
going to be fighting. Tyson is not going to be fighting against Mayweather.
It's an exhibition. It's to
Yeah.
make money. I mean, it's
But I saw a write-up on that, and they said, these guys deserve to make some money.
yeah,
They
they do.
put
I
so
mean,
much for
look,
this.
if they're going to put the match together and people want to watch it, obviously they wouldn't do it if they thought that people didn't want to watch it. So they're putting it together. They're going to sell lots of tickets. Lots of people are going to
We'll
watch.
watch it.
People are going to be
Sure.
talking about it from now until the fight. We'll see.
Actually, exactly what we're talking about. People are going to talk that way.
Right. I
To
mean,
people,
there's so much in the news now. I mean, have you seen that in June, in 2026, June 2026, the UFC is hosting an event at the White House. Players
no.
are going to warm up in the White House. There's going to be a fight night taking place they're going to set up the octagon on the White House lawn. It's been publicized through reliable news channels, and Dana White and Donald Trump are
Well,
friends.
Trump loves that anyways. I think Trump loves UFC.
Trump loves UFC and he loves Dana White. And Conor McGregor says he's coming back for
Yeah. Hey, who did Dana White vote for?
it. Kamala. Um, no, but Conor says he's going to come back. What do you think about that? Is he going to? He's been saying it for a long
He'll
time, but
come back to make money, but how good's he going to be? He's lost his
well,
last,
he's not going to
hasn't
be
won in
like,
5 years.
look, he's gonna not going to be like how he was in his prime. Can he compete with a year's training from now till then? Yes, 100% he can. Can he get back to where he was in his prime with a year's training, being this much older? No. But I think he can still be a good fighter if he trains hard this next year. Um, the problem with him is when it comes to, discipline, is he going to stay in a training camp? Is he going to, like, he needs the year to really get in shape. Um, anyway, I digress. This is supposed to be a tennis podcast.
Yeah. So we're going to have to change the name of the podcast again to incorporate the boxing
Well,
now.
we're going to get to the name
Yeah.
change for sure. But speaking of exhibition selling tickets, it's a good segue into Sabalenka versus Nick Kyrgios. Nick has called out he wants to do a battle of the sexes with Sabalenka. Sabalenka says she's interested in doing it. Sabalenka says Nick's a very good player. She'll try her best. Nick says he won't really have to play that hard. He should beat her. Sabalenka's a good player, but I should beat her. Maybe she'll get a game or two. Maybe
I
that's
agree with him.
that's about right. I would tend to agree, even though Nick is past his prime and Sabalenka is in her prime. I believe that's the way it will go.
Well, it's not like Nick is that old. You
Like,
know,
look,
he
Nick
could he could still he
just
could still
participated in the Australian Open not too long ago.
he could still
Um,
compete in any of these majors.
Yeah, I think, he could still compete, but he's not making it out of the second round at majors anymore.
That's okay. I
Those are
think,
basically
when you
best
really
three.
put it into perspective, the best, and this is no slight whatsoever on women tennis players or
Mhm.
women athletes of any kind.
Yes,
They have to compete with women. A
correct.
male who's on any D1,
Unless it's mixed doubles. I do appreciate mixed doubles.
I don't know. I don't. I think mixed doubles could be dropped too. I don't know why they haven't myself. But here's the thing: a D1 men's college player, if he's on any D1 team, not even one of the best, would slaughter the best woman in the country, or best woman in the world. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's women's tennis is a completely different ball game in terms of the, physical attributes of the
Correct.
players.
It's the
And
speed.
as a result, different strategies are used. And matches go a different way. It's just the nature of what it is. But in terms of selling tickets, in terms of, what they're going to do with that money. I mean, there's a huge potential there to raise a lot of money for a great cause with that kind of event. So hopefully it's put to good use and they can raise a lot of money to help.
I agree. If it's
Um,
if it's a charity event to raise money for a good cause,
for sure. I mean,
100%
we're
happen.
all for
But
that.
as far as a real competition, I think it's
No,
a
I mean, and I think tennis fans are aware that they're not getting, a Sinner Alcaraz
right.
showdown with this kind of event. I mean, it's just
But
not.
that I would watch anyways because Kyrgios is so
Yes,
funny.
Kyrgios is hilarious, and Sabalenka has a great sense of humor. So she'll be laughing the whole time, and it should be a great, great match. So I
Yeah,
really hope
I'd
that
watch
takes
that.
place.
I would watch that.
That would be very, very fun. Okay, and we have to touch on the controversy of Taylor Townsend versus Ostapenko. I mean, so basically, what went down? Do you want to cover the story for those who haven't heard what happened?
Yeah, I think at the end of the match, correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't see it live.
I didn't see it live either.
Yeah. But at the end of the match, Ostapenko got in Taylor Townsend's face
Yes,
because Taylor Townsend didn't show any kind of apology for hitting a let cord that dribbled onto Ostapenko's side.
correct.
And she called Taylor Townsend uneducated
Yeah.
and something else, low class,
You know
something.
what? There is a thing in tennis, and to the fan who's not really in that world of competitive tennis, they won't understand. A lot of it is psychological mind games. There's a lot of players who are mean as hell on the court, but are really good players. I mean, really good people. Famously, one of my favorite tennis movies, if you ever get the chance to watch it, everybody, you've watched it. We've watched it together, actually, Dad, a few years ago. Breaking Point, the Marty Fish story.
Yeah.
There's a point in there where he goes up to his opponent who he's down in the middle of a match, and Marty's known for being a very nice guy. In the middle of the match, he snaps at his opponent and says, I'm gonna beat you. You have no chance. Blah blah blah, and mouths off to the guy. When emotions are running hot, people say things maybe that they don't mean, or maybe it's just psychological to get in someone's head. Either way. Again, not my cup of tea. I don't endorse that kind of behavior. I thought it was quite ridiculous coming from Ostapenko. I mean, and Taylor Townsend did the right thing. Taylor didn't engage. She just
Yeah.
said, like she told the audience what happened and moved on from it pretty gracefully. So kudos
Here's
to Taylor Townsend for an unbelievable display of just good sportsmanship in that moment. And I know it's tough not to
First of all,
get back at
I
her.
don't I don't blame Taylor Townsend for not apologizing like most people do. Who knows what she's thinking? She's in the middle of a tough match.
Correct.
Maybe she forgot to apologize.
Correct.
So what? If I was playing against her, that wouldn't affect me that she didn't
Yeah.
apologize for let cord. The second thing is that I really don't think that meant that as a slight on Taylor Townsend's color. I just think she said you're low class and uneducated because you didn't apologize. And I think
Correct.
a lot
And
of
and
people are
what
for me
people
and a few aren't.
and what people don't understand also and fail to take into account, English is not Ostapenko's first language.
Exactly.
So you have to give her a little bit of benefit of the doubt. She was upset, she lost the match. Tennis etiquette is that you do apologize, and she was PO'd, and she wanted to let Taylor Townsend know it, and that's how it came out.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. And I don't think Taylor Townsend was offended. She was just thought it was terrible that she would even say that she's low class. But I think,
Correct.
I don't know, but I think she wasn't offended as a black woman. She was offended as another player.
So if you were in that position, you were in a heated match, a big pressure match, and you won the point off of hitting the net. Are you apologizing? You putting your hand up? What
I
do
would
you?
apologize just because it's the thing to do.
It's the etiquette.
Now,
Correct.
the other thing is, am I sorry when that happens? Not really. I'm delighted.
No, you're not sorry, but you're acknowledging that you didn't win the point in a pure way.
That's all.
In an
That's all.
intentional, pure way. You've kind of won by accident. So that's just recognizing that, good point. I wish I could have hit a better shot, whatever. It's frustrating. You're just kind of letting the other person know. And it's, to the outsider, might be a little bit silly. if you've played the game of tennis for long enough, you realize there's certain etiquette, there's a camaraderie to it. We all follow the same etiquette. We respect the sport. That's where it all comes to. Same way, you wait for players to be done on a court before you cross the back, to be done with the point, even if there's, no chance that that ball's or that player is going to come back to the back fence and swing, and there's no chance you're going to get in the way. Just as a courtesy, you wait and let them pass. It's all etiquette, and I think
And
it's
then you also say, excuse me.
correct. It's just a respect for the sport and a respect for your fellow players, and I think, that's where that kind of thing comes from. And Ostapenko, because of that, felt slighted. So that's where that's what
Yeah.
that situation was.
She
An
made a lot of
interesting
enemies. She
one.
made a lot of enemies for doing that.
Yeah. But I kind of like it. I've been saying for a long time, this is what tennis needs. Tennis needs some emotion. Enough with the dullness and dryness. Let's get some energy. Let's get some people talking trash and showing their cards and showing their true colors. I love that stuff.
That's why people love to watch Curios. That's why they used to love watching McEnroe,
Yeah.
not just because McEnroe was a great player, but they wanted to see him blow up. It was
Right.
funny. Yeah.
Right. And even guys like you see some of the newer, you see, like, for example, that's why people love Ben Shelton. Because Ben Shelton goes out there and wears his heart on his sleeve. You know when he's frustrated. You know when he's pumped up. You know when he's,
Okay.
just there focused and kind of neutral. You can see it. He doesn't try to hide anything. And then
I've
people
got
like that.
another player to discuss on that vein. Medvedev, or as they say, Medvedev.
I mean, Medvedev's slump is annoying to him. It's annoying to Medvedev fans like me. I want to see him doing well. I mean, what do you see in that? Can he recover
Well, I'm
his?
talking about when he smashed his rackets.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his performance, but
No, no, he's got an
you're talking
slump.
about the racket smashes.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Go
Mhm.
ahead, smash your racket. We're all talking about it. It's great fun. It's entertainment. He's probably there, like, I don't care. Whatever. I smashed my.
He kept doing it. It wasn't just one
I know, but
smash.
like, you know what? Same thing.
Well,
That's what we
I
love
asked,
about him. We call him affectionately, the fans call him Medi. We love him because he shows his colors. He
yeah,
shows his colors
I
and
have
he's authentic.
one of my students is a psychiatrist, and
Yeah.
he asked him, I said, "What do you think? Is just is Medvedev emotionally off or is he crazy?"
Yeah.
And his answer was, "He's crazy."
You know
Anyways, to
what?
go
We
to
love
go
him
so
for it.
berserk over that, I mean,
We love
that's
him for it. He's
yeah,
I wish him the best. I hope he can get his game back on track. Um, that's an interesting situation. What does he have to do?
Medvedev. I don't know. He's in all these matches, but he just can't seem to close them out.
Do you think that comes down to a mental thing?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. He's a good tennis player.
Mhm.
He's got to get his confidence back.
He's got to hold it together. He's got to play some smaller tournaments and build it back up. Yeah.
Anyway, that's that one. All right. So what about the men's final, the U.S.
The
Open?
men's final. Okay.
That's going to be an
From
exciting
the
thing.
beginning, I've said Sinner's going to win. Alcaraz put on the performance that I expected he would against Djokovic. Um,
Did you know this stat, by the way, that Alcaraz is the first guy at the U.S. Open to make the finals without losing a set?
since Roger Federer,
Yeah, that's right.
because Roger did it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Amazing. And Djokovic is the oldest player to reach the semifinals of all four Grand Slams.
really
Yep.
even going back to the past when players were all older.
Yep. In the
Hmm,
open era. In the open era. So it's 19, when did that start? 69?
something
Something
like
like
that.
that. Since 1969.
Wow.
He's yeah, he's so solidified as probably the greatest professional tennis career of all time.
Well, I always say people ask me about it. They say, does Djokovic have a chance to beat these guys? And I just put it this way. I said, you've got a remarkable, tremendous, in shape 38-year-old against a remarkable, tremendous, in shape 24-year-old. So what's going to happen?
Exactly. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head completely. But what's your prediction? What's happening in the finals? I'm going Sinner.
Okay. Sinner was injured in the last match against Felix.
Sick. Oh, injured.
Injured. Now,
Yeah, what happened?
was it a pulled stomach muscle?
I don't know.
Something
I
happened. He
don't
went
know. I
off. He
didn't
had to
know
go
it
to the
was.
lock. He
I
had to go
didn't
to the
realize it
locker
was
room.
noteworthy enough to.
Yeah. He went to the locker room.
Yeah.
Trainer was out helping him, et cetera, et cetera. His serve was terrible for a while. And you got to lift some weights if you have trouble opening that.
Well,
So
I open it to get the protein, so I build more muscle, so I can open it
good idea.
easier.
Good idea. Yeah. So I think if he wasn't injured, like we don't know the extent of the injury, et cetera. But all things being even, I equal, I agree with you. I think
Yeah.
it's just a little bit better, and this is his kind of surface.
Right. It depends on the injury. I mean, that's a brutal factor if that ends up being the decision maker because Sinner was sick the last time he faced Alcaraz.
Sometimes the injury is worse the second day than the day that you do it.
Right.
We'll see.
Well,
Like I
we'll
said, I
see.
think on this kind of surface, Sinner is the slightly better player. But it could go either way. I mean, they're both head and shoulders above everybody else now.
We'll have to just wait and see.
Yep, we will.
Anything else you want to wrap
Yep.
up with?
Yes. Name of the podcast.
Oh, the name of the podcast. We almost forgot. So we got a couple of great suggestions. One from a viewer said Advantage Father and Son. We got um, Racket Ramblings. Um, we got Tennis Talk with Chet and Mike. Um, and basically, if you haven't seen, because you're not following us on Instagram for some reason, but we posted a video on Instagram that of Coach Mike asking what our podcast should be named because there was too many baseline banters.
And baseline banters that have to do with basketball and other sports too.
Right.
So we have
So
to.
we've got to find a new name for the podcast. What are you leaning towards, Dad?
I like racket ramblings because the alliteration of the two R's, it's
Yeah.
catchy. And then if you want to go into other racket sports, like I know you're a certified pickleball coach,
Hmm.
so if any pickleball discussion comes up, it can still go under the same heading.
What are we doing? Racket Ramblings with Chet and Mike, or just Racket Ramblings?
That's something for the viewers.
Okay. Leave a comment below or message us. What do you guys think? So, are we set on Racket Ramblings though? So now it's between Racket Ramblings or Racket Ramblings with Chet and Mike.
I agree.
Okay, so let us know. Those are the finalists for our new title of the podcast. And we'll see. This might be the last episode of Baseline Banter.
Yeah, we'll never get to 10.
We'll never get to 10. What a shame. But we will get to episode 1 of a new podcast.
Yes, we will. We
So,
will.
anyways, guys, continue watching the US Open, watch the finals, and we hope to dive into everything that happens in the finals on the next episode.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Hey, all right. Thanks, everyone.